Garden Warfare 2 has a variety of different characters that are useful in the battlefield, with some being better than others. But no one has ever stopped to consider what would happen to them if the war between the plants and zombies ended. What would they do, and more importantly, how employable would they be? Well, today I'm gonna answer that question by ranking every character class based on how employable they are. Now, just to clarify, I'm only gonna be ranking each class and not every variant. However, I will acknowledge every variant and take them into consideration for my ranking. So anyways, with all that said, let's get right into this. Starting off with the Citrons. In the story of this game, Citron is a bounty hunter, which is pretty cool, but since the war between the plants and zombies is over, he would have a lot less work to do. Don't worry though, cause bounty hunting isn't the only thing Citron is good at. He also works as an agent for Leaf. So, having past experience with being an agent and bounty hunting, he could probably make a good employee for the government. B tier. Next are the Imps. I think it's safe to assume that the Imps are good with technology since they all know how to operate a mech. However, if I'm not mistaken, Imps are basically the equivalent to child zombies, and in case you didn't know, there's laws that prohibit children from working a certain amount of hours. Now, that's not too big of a problem, but what bothers me more is that they don't seem like very productive workers. I mean, here, you can see all of the Imps in this room are sleeping on the job. And right here, this Imp is completely oblivious to the mess that's happening in front of him because he's asleep. So even though they possess a good set of skills, they just don't seem very reliable. D tier. After that is Rose. Rose would 100% make a good model or actor due to her appearance. I mean, look at her, she's a talking rose. Tell me what perfume company wouldn't want that as a model. Not only that, she also knows magic, which would make her a great entertainer. There are so many different jobs that Rose could be capable of having, which is why I'm gonna be putting her in the A tier. Super Brains are ripped zombies that also have superpowers. I feel like these guys have the potential to make really good personal trainers. He's got the physique for it and seems to know how to maintain that. Something you should know about him though is that he's convinced he's starring in an action movie at all times. Now this isn't necessarily a bad thing and could make him a fun person to be around, but I feel like it could get a little unpleasant to work with him because of this. However, he still is very good at what he does, so I'm gonna be giving him a B tier. Moving on, we have Colonel Corn. This guy would be absolutely perfect for the military. One thing I like about him is that he can produce infinite food since he never seems to run out of corn to shoot. On top of that, he can throw airstrikes, shoot missiles, and do whatever you'd call this almost whenever he wants to. So imagine, a soldier that can make infinite food, never runs out of ammo, and can produce airstrikes and missiles from thin air? That right there sounds like an S tier to me. Next is Foot Soldier, who is pretty similar to Colonel Corn. Even though he can't produce infinite food, the class has a lot of different variants for many specific environments. Some examples of these are the Arctic Trooper, who would be perfect for cold environments, or the Scuba Soldier, who would be perfect for aquatic environments. Do I think he belongs in the same tier as Corn though? No, and that's mainly because of how much more Colonel Corn can do. I also read through the descriptions of all the soldiers, and they all seem kinda clumsy, with there being a common theme of misplacing important items. B tier. Pea Shooter is a very versatile class because his variants allow him to take care of a lot of different jobs. Let me list off some examples real quick, starting with Agent P, Law P, and Commando P, who already have real life professions. He's also got the Elemental variants, which could probably find a job relating to their element. And then there's Rock P and Plasma P, which honestly I have no idea what they would be useful for. But anyways, we also have the regular Pea Shooter, who can shoot infinite peas, which, just like Colonel Corn, means infinite food. S tier. Pirates are next, and to be honest, they're kinda useless. Sure, they have good long-ranged weapons, but we already have Colonel Corn and Foot Soldier as a fighting force in case things happen. Plus, the Foot Soldier class already has a designated sniper variant. I guess he could maybe work as a mascot at a theme park, but I also feel like he would scare away the guests. And I mean this in the nicest way possible, but he also just looks old and brittle. I mean, look at him. He's even shaking in the customization screen. On top of that, the sticker book describes him as being crusty and musty. Alright, enough of me ripping into him. I feel like he shouldn't even be working. He should be retired or something. For these reasons, I will unfortunately be giving him an F tier. Sunflower is the healer of the plants team. Assuming that the Sunflower's heal beam works on humans and animals, she would be perfect to work in hospitals and veterinary clinics. And let me tell you, this heal beam is quick. I mean, look, this Pea Shooter went from being on the verge of death to being at full health within just a few seconds. Sunflower can also place down a potted sunflower that can heal multiple people at the same time. Anyways, all of this combined makes her an easy S tier. But even though she is an S tier, there is someone better than her, and that would be the Scientist. Scientist is the healer of the zombies team. He's got all of the positives about Sunflower, those being the heal beam and a portable heal station, but on top of that, every single one of his variants specialize in a certain type of science. Some examples include the chemist, who specializes in chemistry, and the marine biologist, who specializes in marine biology, and yeah, I think you get the point. This would make it very easy for him to land a job somewhere. Another easy S tier. Anyways, allow me to take a quick moment to plug my socials. I have a TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, so please consider following me there. I could really use some more followers. Alright, now back to what I was saying. Chomper. He's comfortable with eating zombies, so I'm assuming he'd be comfortable with eating just about anything. We could use this to our advantage by just replacing our trash cans with chompers. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't have to take out the trash ever again because the chompers would just eat it right up. Now that I think about it though, there are two major problems with this idea. One, there's not enough chompers to replace every single trash can on Earth, and two, it would probably get really boring for the chomper to just sit around and eat trash all day. So a better way of handling this would be to release all of the chompers into landfills. That way, the chompers are actually moving around and also removing trash at the same time. A tier. Engineer, I feel, would have a very easy time finding a job because just like the Scientist, every one of his variants is already a profession in real life. I don't have much else to say, they just seem like reliable guys for the most part, so A tier. Cactus is the sniper variant of the plants, and for the same reasons as Captain Deadbeard, she is kinda useless. I do think she is a little better though because she doesn't look old and brittle like how Captain Deadbeard does. She's also not crusty and musty, which is another good thing, but other than that, I can't think of any positive things to say about her. D tier. Anyways, All-Stars are another class that I feel would have a very easy time finding a job. Every single one of his variants already specializes in a specific type of sport, so there's that. I wanted to find out a little more about the All-Stars, so I took a look through their descriptions and I found that some of them have some issues. Hockey Star is pretty much always in the penalty box, Golf Star has a habit of destroying lawns, and Cricket Star doesn't even know how to play cricket. All of the other variants don't seem to have any problems though, so I'll be putting him in B tier. Torchwood is a giant sentient tree. I feel like he would make a very good body or security guard due to his intimidating appearance. He also has a giant hand that he can use to grab things, which might not seem very useful, but picture this. He's working as a security guard and someone tries to sneak past him. He can just grab them with his hand and throw them outside. Something else I like about him is that he's a lot more durable than a human being, and what I mean by that is that he can take a lot more hits than a human could if someone was trying to attack him. He also doesn't have any variants, which some might see as a bad thing, but I see this as a good thing because it means he wouldn't have to worry about any environmental hazards his other variants could cause. A tier. Finally, we have the Hovergoat 3000, a goat that has a hoverboard for some reason. I'm not sure if the goat would be able to communicate to us on how to build one of those, so I'm gonna rule out that possibility. I am a little interested in his beam ability, which buffs the damage of a nearby ally, but at the same time, I don't think it would be very useful since this would most certainly be banned in professional fights. I guess you could argue that having this for self-defense would be nice, but if you're able to afford having a goat follow you around all the time, you might as well just hire a bodyguard instead. Going back to the hoverboard, I feel like this could be utilized due to its good mobility. Maybe Hovergoat could go around delivering packages or something. C tier. Alright, that's the end of my list. Hope you enjoyed watching, and if you agree or disagree with me for whatever reason, feel free to say so in the comments, or even make your own list on this. By the way, this video was heavily inspired by the video you're seeing up on screen right now, so consider checking it out. Anyways, that's all I gotta say, so I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya!